We've been stranded in Port Stephens for nearly 2 years due to lockdowns and border closures. We've used this time, however, to do some much needed boat maintenance, and this included renovating our deck. For all those who are new here, this is the short version of the last 6 months. It all began when we had to change a tap. Before that, we got a quote for repainting the decks, and it blew our minds.
You've got to be kidding.
So when we saw how well our painting job had come out, we decided to give the whiteboarders a go ourselves. But when you get down to that level, you start to notice all sorts of little things.
Well, I'm just making sure that, there's no water getting through there, so I'm just going to clean it out.
We knew these minuscule cracks in the non-slip might lead to a larger problem down the line, so we had to repair them. And by the time we were halfway, we realised it was a much bigger job than we thought, and we decided to renovate the entire deck ourselves. The weather didn't help us. It rained and stormed constantly.
And as soon as I finished mixing it, a shower came out of nowhere and wet everything.
So we continued working, ducking and weaving around the unpredictable weather, and every milestone was a triumph. The days grew shorter and cooler though, and we knew we had to finish the non-slip before the howling westerly winds and the winter storms arrived. And we made it. Now it's over, we couldn't be happier. We think it looks pretty good, and the non-slip lives up to its name. You might ask if it was all worth it. Well, that's what this video is about. This is a tale of how much we saved by doing this work ourselves.
Show me the money.
I'm Adriana. This is Jim and Lucy. 5 years ago, we moved onto our boat to get her ready to sail the east coast of Australia. Subscribe and get on board.
Stay until the end to find out how Adri and I met. I'll give you a hint. She had to advertise.
Hi everyone, it's time to break down how much we saved by doing the deck renovation ourselves.
We got a quote from some shipwrights that do very good work. They would have taken the mast off, put the boat in the shed, and they had budgeted about 3 months of work and 500 hours of labour to do just the deck itself. And that was going to cost around about $80,000.
When Jim told me that,
Yeah.
I said, oh my God!
Anyway, we decided to give it a go, so we launched into the project.
So how much did it cost, Jimmy?
A bit over $1,000 Australian in power tools. And then the paints themselves, there's no way that we would have spent more than $2,000 in paint. Even the custom tinted polyurethane, 2-pack polyurethane that we purchased, and the Kiwi Grit non-skid that we had custom tinted, all of that would have been comfortably under $2,000. And then we could probably add $1,000 for bits and pieces and attachments for tools and what have you. Adding for things that we can't think of, no more than $5,000, absolute max.
So we saved $75,000. And I guess that's our labour and the fact that we're paying.
Yeah, we weren't paying to get the mast removed, have the
Yeah.
boat lifted out of the water, and
Yeah.
the storage costs inside a shed for 3 months. So that's where all the savings came in. Against that, we had the inconvenience of being at the mercy of the weather. With any type of painting or sealing job, it's all about the surface preparation. It's 95% about that and 5% the application. The masking up is quite time consuming. We masked up for every application we did. We didn't mask up once and then put 2 or 3 coats down.
No,
Every time we did it, we
single
masked up.
Yeah.
We used sort of nearly well over 500 metres of masking tape. So Adri has some amazing masking skills. Now, she's a gun masker and non-skid applicator if anyone's looking for one.
Okay, Jimmy, what are you up to today?
You caught me off guard. Time to replace this hatch
What's happened to it?
Oh, look, it's cracked where the handle is. We've probably stepped on it heavily at some point. This is 6mm acrylic. I'm going to replace it with 8mm polycarbonate, so it'll be much stronger. And I'm just going to chamfer the edges, so we shouldn't crack it again.
The first item on the agenda for Jim is always a coffee. Once he was adequately caffeinated, he began removing the old hatch.
The old hatch window was fixed with a neutral cure silicone, and I began by cutting through it with a utility knife. The next step was to remove all the silicone from the frame and the window edges. I then used the old window as a template to mark out the shape. I decided to purchase a special blade for the jigsaw that was made for cutting polycarbonate, and it did make the job a lot easier, so I'm glad I did. Once the shape was cut, the file and belt sanders were used to smooth off the edges, and because I was using an 8mm thick polycarbonate to replace the 6mm thick acrylic, I also chamfered off the top edge so that it wouldn't be sharp. Now the new piece was ready, it was masked off, and the sealant interface was sanded with 400 grit paper and then wiped clean with 100% alcohol. Both the polycarbonate manufacturer and the hatch manufacturer recommend using a 100% neutral cure silicone. So I just used a Seeker product called Seeker Seal to fix it into place. Okay, so just put some weight on it. I think that's good enough. Acrylic is more resistant to scratching and yellowing over time from ultraviolet exposure, and it can be polished to restore its clarity. Polycarbonate, on the other hand, has greater strength and flexibility than acrylic, so it's more resistant to cracking and much easier to drill.
Well, we did that just in time.
Homespun and well brought up, glassy-eyed and primed for the ref. You wrong, I won't be lost, I won't be labeled. I can't go wrong, I won't be lost, I won't be labeled.
Overnight, we had police boats in the marina again and helicopters overhead.
Millions of New South Wales residents will enter a stay-at-home order tonight.
The Premier says she knows everybody is suffering, but the lockdown has to continue.
So we're back where we started, in the middle of lockdowns and border closures. And we figured we might as well do more work on the boat.
High five. Good girl. Hey Jim, what are you up to?
I'm just getting some pictures of the paintwork condition to get a costing on repainting the hull when we next slip the boat.
Yeah, which will be soon, right?
Which is due for slipping, yeah. It's been 2 years. It really needs it now, so I'm just looking at the possibility of doing that at the same time, because it does need it. So
Okay,
we'll see how it works out.
cool.
It was time for a visit from the exhaust sheriff to do a fitting of the new custom-built exhaust system.
Goes that way, actually.
That's going to clamp up there. Very good.
What happened?
Well, we've ordered a V-clamp based on the diameter we need.
Yep.
But there's been some confusion with the supplier, and they've supplied something a lot bigger at a very low cost.
Yeah.
So they supplied a $230 item for $23.
Great.
But then they've given us the wrong item. So we're just waiting on the V-clamp to connect the exhaust outlet into the water lock, and she's connected down the bottom, ready to go. We discovered that the Sheriff is moonlighting as a bass player in a band called Deadline. If you see them playing near you, check them out. They really rock.
What the hell is the world coming to?
I was sitting with my friend Arthur Kornblum, and this beautiful girl walked in, and I turned to Arthur, and I said, Arthur, you see that girl? I'm going to marry her.
And I saw it come out of Tough and Eddie's.
We both looked at each other, and it was just as though not a single day had gone by.
I remember I snuck over to her and I said, what did I say?
You said, what are you doing after?
Right. So I ditched Roberta, we go for coffee, a month later we're married.
We were both born in the same hospital.
1921.
7 days apart.
In the same hospital.
And he said,
I'm Ben Small of the Coney Island Smalls.
at that moment I knew the way you know about a good melon.
We met because Adri wanted to start a band, and she put a ad in a paper for a guitar player. So I'd been playing in bands at the time, and I thought, I'll go and check this out.
When I opened the door and saw Jim, I thought, I could make beautiful music with this guy. What did you think?
Well, I thought, who's this exotic girl that's wanting to start a band? Let's see if she can sing.
And we've been together ever since. We're in bands, we went to Europe.
Yeah, recorded a lot of
songs. And then we decided to swap the music for boating. It was better for the family.
Yeah, and we haven't looked back.
No, we've been together 37 years.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
And we've enjoyed it. Thanks very much, everyone, for hanging in with us during this video. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment, because we love to hear from you. We really get a kick out of it, especially these days with the inability to meet up in person. So we'd love to hear from you. And wherever you are in the world today, stay well,
stay safe,
and keep that tail wagging.